everyone. Happy Thursday. We're so happy to have you guys joining us on this week's episode. My mom is... Okay, so this is a podcast episode called Coco. It's a show called Coco Caliente. It's a mother and daughter production where we talk about everything and nothing all at the same time.
And since this seems to be a week pretty much around, at least from the looks of my Facebook, of school starting, we thought we'd talk a little bit about school back then and now and how, it's all going.
Okay, so what's our first topic, Mom? Mom wrote out the list of topics today. So
and I'm not, a lot of this is new to me. My kids have been out of school, so I'm just going to debate it with her and see what she knows about it and stuff. But books versus laptops. Do you know that they are, what are they called? Pads?
Tablets?
Tablets, yes. Did you know that they don't use very many books in school anymore?
Yeah, I think that's really weird. For me personally, I don't learn as well on a tablet.
I think, and do you think that's just because that's what I was thinking. That's how I feel too. I like paper books, even though you got me that, what's that one? Kindle to read on.
I have one too, but I don't use it either anymore.
And you got that for me, and I do like it because you don't have to. You can just have it and
a Kindle's a little bit easier, I think, to learn on than a tablet. Is that what a tablet's made out of? The screen? Because if it's like an iPad, I feel like that hurts my eyes a little bit more. A Kindle's specific just for reading, so I wonder what. I never saw an actual tablet that they use in the schools.
But they've gotten. I like to flip the pages. I like to go back and reference things. I like to look
highlight
at things.
Stuff.
You
can still highlight, I think, but it's just a different feeling.
Well, it's a lot lighter for the kids' bags, so that's good. It's carrying all the books in the lockers.
It's better for the environment.
And it's probably, even though they're more expensive, to replace and stuff. Books get ruined, so they're always having to order new textbooks, or they get lost, or that kind of thing. But do you think, though, kids, because they're so young, 5-year-olds already know how to do all that stuff on a phone or to use an iPad and a tablet? So do you think it's better for them? But then I feel like they're all going to miss out on books. What do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think even in college, I really loved having the books. When I was in college, I think you could start buying, or some people didn't buy the books and they just looked stuff up on the internet. That was before tablets and stuff, but I always had to have the big, thick books because it was just easy for me to go through, read, rewrite, underline, highlight, and not just highlighting on, because we both have new iPads too, Mom, and which you haven't even taken yours out of the box yet. I got it for her for Mother's Day.
Once I did.
You did? So on mine, I can also highlight and stuff. It's different. I don't know. I don't like it. But
that's how Arrow's going to go to school. So he's not going to know any different. I'm pretty sure, by especially 4 more years, I don't think they're going to have books at all. They do not have books.
That's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, everything is just on let's was talking about school supply lists now. It used to be so much fun. I had so much fun going, and they'd have the crayons were 29 cents for the packs and the lined paper, and I got them so much school supplies they didn't even need. They wanted glue sticks and what else? The pencil boxes, the pens, the sharpeners, the big boxes of crayons, the fancy erasers, the paper that you pop out and put into your own thing, plus their notebooks and all the fun school supply stuff. Now they actually, I don't know if they do this at all schools, but for Ubley they do. Every grade, kindergarten through I don't know if it's 6th grade or 8th grade, probably 6th. They give you a list of what to buy, and you can't buy anything else. Anything else, they said they will send home.
What?
And it literally, each grade has different things. It would say, I went through because I was just curious then. So I started reading, which I wish I would have printed a couple of the lists off, but it was specific. But the little headphone things.
Earbuds?
Yeah, for your tablet. That was on all their lists, and a water bottle. They have to bring a water bottle. And that's different. But it said 24 pack of crayons. It was so specific. 1 box of Kleenex, 1 box, but hardly any school supplies. I'm going to say 4 things, except
I
for...
would love to talk to a teacher that had me, and then now is teaching, which I know there's lots of them. So it'd be interesting to get on.
Either Mrs. Here. Wright or Mrs. Ruthie, yeah.
That would be really interesting because they've had it both. And I'm thinking the water bottle would be because maybe so people don't get up and ask for a drink at the water fountains.
I mean, that's probably a good idea, because if they're thirsty, it isn't like, I don't think that that's a bad idea at all. But like, you have to have like all this stuff in like some of the classes, it said like the whiteboard markers, and it tells you how many of each for the whole year, like, and they want you to bring all your stuff on the first day. Some lists only had like 5 things, and some lists had like 18 things.
Hey,
like,
that makes it easier for parents.
it is really, it would be really easy for parents, but it wouldn't be as much fun, because they were specific at like a pencil case, like it wasn't a book bag like that only has one compartment, like that was for the younger kids, because they don't want to like be looking at out like the kindergartners, and what kind of folder to bring home, their like Friday folder, and like a slip. It was so specific, like it was like. And
I mean, if Ugly's doing it, I feel like everyone has to be doing it, because we're so behind, I feel like, on everything.
But I mean, I thought that just because we're smaller, but I thought that was very, very, very interesting, because we just went with whatever we had, and then if you came home and said I need more this or this, it would be a lot more feasible for parents this way, because it's just specific. And then they also would have a list that said, if you can, to things for the classroom, like some extra boxes of Kleenexes or some wipes or some antibacterial, like if you could contribute anything else to, they had a classroom stockpile list too. And then
that's a good idea.
But literally it was so interesting. When I see something, like read something, then I always dig deep into it. I'll be 2 hours later, I'll be looking at school supply lists, because it's just like so, like I miss it. I have a big gap, from it's been a while, and it's just interesting to figure it all out. And then that's just what else I was thinking about, like school shopping. Now the way everybody shops online, do you think people take the kids and go school shopping anymore? Or do you think they mostly just order some stuff or use what they have at home? School shopping was a huge, huge deal to me as a child. And then as I was, I'm the oldest out of my cousins. So I have cousins that are a lot younger than me. And my sister's 10 years younger than me. So I loved it. Like then when I was out of school and they went school shopping, it was a big deal. They would come and try on all their stuff and make all these like different outfits. Like a fashion show. Yeah, like a fashion show constantly. What was it like for you and your mom taking you shopping? Did she buy you anything that you wanted? Did you have a limit? Was it you and all your brothers and sisters? It was all, no, my brother never went. It was me and my sister. And sometimes we could bring a friend. And it was, yes, we did have a limit. We did have like, I don't remember what it was, like so many pairs of pants. And it wasn't like money wise as much. She would just say no if it was something ridiculous, but I think everything was kind of priced the same. So you went to like a mall, I'm guessing. Yeah, JCPenney and stuff like that. But yeah, would you try all the stuff on and make sure you liked it? Yes, we tried everything on, and we always got to go to a nice restaurant for lunch. So that was always, or sometimes we'd eat in the mall and then also still be there and go for a nice dinner. But it was, we tried it on in every store. Then we'd come back and decide what we wanted, because you got 4 pairs of pants. You had to pick which 4 pairs you want. So you wanted to know, do I want, there was back then it was corduroys, jeans, dress pants, all kinds of different things. And was grandma pretty whatever with your style, whatever you wanted? Or did she say something's ugly or what? Because I know you had a different style. Yeah, she just let me get what she would say. Are you sure you want that stuff? But she'd let me get it. Yeah, I always picked stuff that nobody else would pick. Like me and my sister picked nothing the same. And then I'd end up wearing half her stuff too, because mine was because I'd buy a pair of jeans, say, and they had moons sewn all over them. Well, I don't want to wear my moon jeans 2 times a week. She bought some plain pants, so then I would want to wear some of her stuff, because I would pick and she never wore my stuff because she thought it was too random. She hardly ever. I was really into I really liked the big shirts with the collars that you popped up. They're kind of like hot pink and green and yellow with all the belts around the waist and the button downs. And I used to wear those kind of things all the time. The big chunky jewelry necklaces. And she wasn't into it? She wore them a little bit, but she would wear just the more like neutral colored ones, where I would pick hot pink. And I wore those gloves with the nets to school and all the jelly bracelets. And she wasn't just as much into that kind of stuff. It was, so my mom let me get a lot of accessories. She never limited me on the accessories. It's kind of that's just, I wish I could just like be a fly on the wall watching grandma taking you shopping, just because it's just funny, because I know her now
And she was so different back then, I feel like. But you picking, I wonder where you got your different style from, though. Because it's not like, did you have anybody that you, I don't know, because...
No, we didn't look. I bought magazines. That's when I spent all of my money. Any money I had at all, ever, like spending money, like $2 or whatever, I always bought the magazines. Like I read the magazines. I loved to read, and I would I would take the pictures of the people and rip them out and tape them on my wall and stuff.
Okay, so that's where you kind of got see, that's why you were a little bit ahead on fashion, I feel like.
Yeah, I loved magazines.
Was from the magazines.
I cut out the girls and the boys posters all over my bedroom.
Well, school shopping for me was really special too because it was so much fun. We'd make a whole day out of it, but we pretty much did it in one day. Like one day, me and Mom and Jesse would go to the mall, and I remember my favorite store was Wet Seal.
That was as you got older. First,
it was limited to when I was younger, and then Wet Seal as I got older, and then like Charlotte
Hollister
Russe.
a little bit. Jesse really liked Hollister. Oh, you liked Abercrombie too.
Did I?
Yes, Abercrombie Kids. Yes, when you were young.
Yeah.
She liked and I was very, very. I never like with her. Right away. I was very stylish with you from kindergarten up. She just had always...
I was laying in bed last night and I was like, I don't understand people that do not have style. But, okay, so people maybe think my style's weird. But it's not weird. It's just like maybe a little bit forward. So I don't care what anyone says about my style. I have really good style. But where was I going with this? It's just like... When I see some people, even influencers, like they'll admit that they don't have style and they can't put outfits together and stuff. It's just like, to me, it's almost like my ABCs, like super easy. And I'm just trying to figure out how can I take my style or fashion to the next level, because it's like, this is too mediocre. This is too easy. I need something different. So that's just something that I guess I was given because my mom had it and she kind of taught me. But my style was always way ahead, even though living in a small town, way ahead of everybody around me. And that was before social media. That was before, like, I didn't really look at magazines much. I kind of just I feel like in another life, I was definitely like a fashion designer. When I lay down and sleep at night, I think of the cutest things, if I could draw or if I could sew, that I could make. And, sometimes I just think, man, I really missed my calling because it's easy for me. It's easier than anything I've ever done.
And it's being confident in what you wear too. That's a lot of it. And I've just never, I put mismatched stuff on you since you were young and just shoved you off to school and, because I'm like, oh, this looks really good.
But mismatched is in stylish.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Yes. But we would do it one year when I don't know, remember it was 7th or 8th grade. We did a different kind of look every day for the first week. I'm going to have to put some pictures on the thing. It was so
cool. Like basically one was Marilyn Monroe. One was like schoolgirl.
I'll pop a couple of these onto the, I'm going to pop a couple of school pictures of her.
You have to. I'm just like so mad that back then I wasn't doing it for social media. Like that was
there was no such thing.
Yeah, there was no such thing. So, but I mean, that was just like, I don't even feel like people do that much for like social media these days. But that was just like my style. I was so confident.
We didn't even have, the thing is, we literally don't have even hardly any pictures of the things because you had to take them with a camera and develop them. We did not have a phone, or we would have all kinds of outfits and pictures. I probably got 2% of what you ever wore. Like when I think about that one dress from the, with the fruit all over it.
I swear to gosh, I was thinking of that last night. I was like, I found this fruit dress, Mom, or did you find it? And it had shoulder pads. Did we cut the shoulder pads out? Yeah. And it was just this cute, freaking bright, vibrant fruit dress from like a 80-year-old's closet. And it was so, so cool. And I wore it to school like multiple times. And I wore like different shoes every time because I had all the stilettos that were different colors. But I was thinking about that last night. Isn't that
weird?
Where
is that dress? I know we did not get rid of it. We
never would have got rid of it.
Yeah, and like did we buy it from a rummage sale or garage sale or
garage
something?
sale.
And it was like definitely like, and it was
short too. Like it wasn't to my knees. It was very like a flattering cut I'm only 5'1", so it was really good for me.
I don't have one picture of you in that dress.
What's so funny is like, okay, so in high school, I dated a guy that was, I dated the same guy for like or from 8th grade and on or whatever. And he was so shy. And now thinking back, I'm probably thinking like, he's like, what is wrong with my girlfriend? She's dressing like a literal, like she thinks she's like Britney Spears or something. Like it was just so bizarre to me thinking back, but he handled it so well. Like he always made me feel like, okay, this is normal. But looking back, it was anything but normal. You know what I mean?
Yes, it was.
Like, even my best friend, Jessica, she's just probably like, oh, yeah, this is just Nicole. Like, no one batted an eye about it.
No, and it was cute because I know one of the teachers there, and she had 2 younger daughters, and she came up to me one time, and she goes, oh, my girls have to run into the lunchroom in the morning to see Nicole, to see what she's wearing today. Like, they just loved to see what she was.
And I saw a girl comment on my Instagram yesterday that even way back when I played volleyball against you, I always knew that you always had like the best style and stuff. Because I guess like you'd see people dressed up at other, what are you looking at?
Nothing.
Oh, you see people dressed up before the basketball game or the volleyball game. So you kind of knew, I guess, who had style.
Well, you would definitely see. Everybody knew who each other was.
But I mean, at other schools, you really don't see. You see each other a lot more now because of Snapchat.
But say if you guys, but you guys like would go support the boys' team, so you'd be in your normal clothes, then, and then.
Right.
You'd go to the you guys would go to the football game, so people would see. Even if you wore his football jersey, you still did a lot of cool things with your hair or other things that
I tried so much harder back then. But it was like I had this like confidence. It wasn't because I was just like, man, I'm the crap. Like this is it.
And
like,
it was weird. Like I would just naturally just pick up. Like I remember she had this ripped pair of jeans, and I took this. I went to Walmart, bought different color yarn. Remember, and I put them
patches and bows,
and sew them lines down, and then I would switch the colors out, and I would put beads in her hair, and then put different colors in the next. I don't know. I used to get up so early to help her get ready, and it was so fun. And Jesse was easy. He liked style. Jesse was always dressed really nice, and he just got shirts and jeans and corduroys or whatever, and that's how he picked out his own clothes. He liked to be stylish too, but boys are a little bit different.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So I can't wait to have a granddaughter someday from either Jessie or Nicole, and I don't know if Jessie will let me dress her up, but Nicole will.
Well, school shopping was a lot. Like I remember we would take all our bags to one of my aunt's house or somewhere and try everything on after I just tried it all.
All the cousins would meet up. That was kind of cute, and like one would go put on one outfit, and then somebody else would come out and model their something, and then somebody come model their tennis shoes, or it was just. And then get their book bag out and start packing up their school supplies like a month early, just have everything in their book bag. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to, I'm really hoping with like, we're going to make a big deal like when Arrow goes to school, right? We're going to take them shopping, no matter if there's malls, we'll go to some place. And
I think it's always nice to actually try stuff on. I know I'm like bad with online stuff, but I feel like if you're buying stuff, for me, I think it's fun. Arrow, okay, go try these on. And like, come on, let me see. I don't know.
And boys don't like to try on as much. That's why my brother never, ever, ever went with us. We went to JCPenney's, and it was like we either did it first or last, but we got it done. She'd tell me and my sister, she'd go, each of you guys go pick them out like 3 shirts, and I'm going to go grab them 4 pairs of Huskies, and she'd get them like 4 pairs, the exact same pants, like whatever size. And then we'd come back with the shirts, and she'd either say yes or no. And then we got and then socks and maybe some underwear in a book bag. We literally bought everything, even his shoes, every last thing at JCPenney. We didn't go to no other stores, maybe Sears, but we just did him. He was a one-stop shop, and then he'd come home and he would be so mad about the pants. Why do you give me those ugly pants? And she's like, that's what fits you. I don't know. He could have went shopping and picked some different ones, but she literally they were in like the square cubicles. That's how they were. They weren't hanging up, and she's got one. She just grabbed 4. She go, there's his 4 jeans. That was that was, but he never went. I think when we did take him once, he refuses to try stuff on. And I think he was bad. I think we have taken him a couple times, but he was bad. So Mom's like, you can just stay home and we'll bring your stuff home. But yeah, so I want to definitely make a big deal out of like taking the kids still school shopping and, even if you just pick a few things and they have, online, because everybody don't shop as much. Like I asked my sister Tiffany, because her kids are in 11th and 10th grade, and she just gets them a few things because they already have everything and they don't really grow. And a lot of kids just now wear athletic clothes. They do.
It's different now. Like
different all year round. So you can wear shorts, I think, at most schools all year round. A lot of them do that. And they just wear their athletic clothes, and it isn't like a big deal. It isn't like dressing up. I don't think they like dress up like you did, so that makes a difference. And then still going on with the school, what are you discussing, like small schools versus big schools, like the advantages of each, disadvantages?
Yeah, so, okay, well, advantages of a big school. I didn't go to a big school, but I would assume that you have a better chance of going like D1 to college for a sport. If you play a sport, but then a disadvantage, I feel like you'd have to put all your time into one sport and have to try out for it. So sports. Really, so I guess we can talk about sports for each one. For a small school, it was really awesome because I got to play every single sport, and I started, and it was very easy to, be a good athlete and be a starter. And I even broke some records at my tiny school, and so that's pretty cool. I feel like never in a million years would I have been able to do that at a bigger school. But going to college for a sport, they don't look at you. You don't really like the college recruiters. I mean, maybe some if you're really, really good, but I just didn't even think that was plausible. And I think a lot of people, even like we had a good football team at our school. We went to states a few times, and I don't even think anybody, a couple got picked up, but no one ever made like a career, like went professional, right? From that I know of.
I don't know. Alicia probably the farthest in basketball, but that was through the Air Force. And then
I'm saying even the boys who were the quarterback
running, track and cross country. Some of them went to school, not in the career, but they did well in college, very well.
But I think like it had that athlete gone to a bigger school, I think that maybe they could have become pro because they would have just been training different and they would probably be playing
some better teams and stuff like that too.
Victor went to a big school and he could have gone professional with soccer.
Yeah, we do have a lot. Ubley does, for a small school, it produces very well-rounded athletes. So they can go, you can throw them in any sport and they're very successful. We win districts and regionals and states, for different things. We do very well in our class.
They were like Division 8 or something.
Is it? I don't even want to say because I don't even know. Is it 7 or 8? I don't know.
Yeah, it's far.
Yeah, but we do very well in our division.
Competing with the other schools that are our size.
And another thing with sports that I think that is different, would be little bit better in a large school, is there's more choices. Like Ubley doesn't even have soccer, but I think you can at certain grades or ages play for one of the nearby schools, but that's still a lot of running around and
it's not convenient. Your friends aren't probably doing it. Your parents, it's not easy for your parents.
But then in a small school, good thing is your parents can be a big part of coaching. They always need extra help. Like the parents are just as much a part of it. And everyone, they have team dinners and just you plop at somebody's house and before a basketball game, you take turns and everybody comes over and one family makes everybody dinner that day. So you're just, it's always like you're always together. It's very like close knit like that. And,
and they do care about playing time around here a little bit. I mean, I think if you're at a bigger school, some kids probably don't go off the bench, but around here, maybe there's only 9 on the team. So everybody will get to play. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes it depends on the coach, but yeah, most of the time they like, if you're working hard at practice, they're going to reward you. You're going to get to do, something. It does take hard work. They're pretty strict and disciplined. I think I don't know. I think
even like the foreign exchange students would get to play a little bit. And I feel like if they went to a bigger school, there's no way they'd put them out there because they didn't even know how to dribble.
Oh,
do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, yeah, but for a few minutes,
I'm just saying, though, like, I think it's
at a small school. Yeah, I agree with that part. But if it's a close game and you're going to win districts, no, they're going to just play the same 5 people then, too. So they,
Thank goodness. Sometimes I'm like, don't you even think about it.
But I'm just saying, they are smart about that kind of stuff, too. But, yes, they also think about each individual and try to give them a chance to.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess for academics, I think, there's pros and cons to both. Small school, I think you get more one-on-one time, or with like the teacher, you feel very individualized and feel seen by the teacher maybe, but like the subjects are limited. Sometimes they only offer, like they offered anatomy like every other year. I didn't get to take anatomy when I was in high school because of how my schedule fell, but I'm sure that's a very easy class that you can take in a bigger school, I would hope. And I had to go take it for my first time in college, and it was hard for me. It took a lot of time where all my nursing friends this was already their second go around with it. So even like chemistry, that wasn't really, I never took chemistry in high school.
You took a college.
Oh yeah.
College chemistry.
But I had to do that through like something else. I didn't get to take it at my school. So chemistry was new for me. I did take like 1 year of physics in high school. So the classes were very limited. I will say that, very limited.
Or if they were at because of course you want to do some fun stuff at class. So sometimes like the classes you wanted to take would be at the same time as if you wanted to do yearbook or do
journalism or whatever.
Journalism, or something, or the media.
Or maybe you're in band and that's like, there's only 1 hour for band. So you have to give up whatever is in that other hour.
Yeah, so like it was making choices a lot between, or if you had to have the next math class, you had to, so your hour, you couldn't, it was hard to arrange
Spanish,
a schedule. You were stuck between, okay, I'm either going to take Spanish or home ec this hour, and that's
we never
it.
even got home ec. Wasn't even an option.
Just like saying, like they had it when I was in school.
Like gym was second hour, which was so silly. I'd get ready for the day, then I'd have to go sweat in gym in second hour. By 9 a.m, I'm in gym. But like if I wanted to do that, which I did for some reason, really wanted to take gym. I think you have to take 1 year gym. I think you do. And this was in 10th grade. And so anyways, then whatever was second hour, I had to miss out on, even if it was like some like journalism or yearbook or whatever. So I think I only got to take yearbook in my senior year because I finally was just like, I'm going to take whatever classes I want. Because up to that point, I was taking all the college credit classes, which this was before it was normal. I think I was the only one for my graduating class to graduate with. I graduated with 23 college credits, so it was not normal at all. And
she took them all in 11th grade. So then when 12th, and she took them at another school, a nearby school. So what happened is she was in the Math and Science Academy at another school. They picked 2 kids from each school, all 7 schools, and they put them in a class, and if you wanted to do it. So she did that. And then they decided not to do it for senior. They were supposed to do it for 2 years so that they had 2 years of college in, but they didn't do it the senior year because so many kids in it struggled grade-wise. Out of those 14 or 16 kids that were in it, struggled grade-wise that they didn't like want to do it again. So that it was a 1 year and done.
Like fun.
It was like a 1 year and done thing. So then the next year when she came back to Ubley, because she was supposed to be, it was only half a day she went there. And when she came back to Ubley the next year, she already was past all the math and science and everything. So you got to take all fun stuff your senior year.
Yeah, I think my math was
statistics.
Yeah, like it was so silly.
But actually, that's statistics is real life, so that's a good class.
Oh no, it was good, but I'm saying it was super easy. Math was my best subject. I was really, really good at math. But then I had to take biostatistics my first year in college, and that's where I met Mariah. And it was so hard for Mariah. I literally did my homework and her homework, and she sat next to me, and she would just look at my tests and just copy off me. But math was my best subject, and so that was right away. I went and did stats like first hour, and then the whole day was super easy. Yeah, it was like almost too easy, too fun.
Yeah,
like I did nothing.
Your senior year was really, I mean, you couldn't even, I remember it was all fun. Like out of your 7 classes, 4 of them were fun classes.
It was really bad.
So, and then the other ones were like, that math that was easy for you. You couldn't take any science.
There was nothing
You
I
had
could take.
really easy English class too.
Yeah, okay, it was like and it was like 10 vocabulary words that you had to like match the definitions. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So
it was just
so she got too far ahead of everybody by doing that one program, and then she had to come back down but she loved it. You had a great senior year.
I loved it, yeah. And then when I went to college, I went with 18 credits my first semester, which was kind of crazy. Or was
That's how many you took, you mean?
Yeah. And I don't think you should really do that. Well, was it 18 or more? I don't know.
No, it was 18.
Yeah, so then I was like, okay, let's get back to business. But, yeah I don't know. I kind of like to be challenged, though, in school a little bit more than what I was my senior year, but it was still fun. I mean, that's when I was really just worried about what am I going to wear today, because that's the hardest thing to figure out for today.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a good conversation.
Oh, then we took like typing. I mean, me and my brother. My brother's 2 years younger than me.
Oh, you took like choir, didn't you?
I took 2 classes with my brother. I took music appreciation with my brother, and I took it was like typing class. Computer class, like to learn how to use a Mac, and I sat next to my brother in that class too, and that's hilarious. Me and my brother had 2 classes together my senior year.
Because he's 2 grades younger, but it's because it was like literally she went in there
music
and
appreciation. We just watched like musicals.
She had nothing. There was nothing she could take. It was like they're like, nope, you're past that, you're past that, you're past that. So it was quite funny. I was like, well, enjoy.
And Jesse's best friend was in there with me too, and they were just trouble. So there's only like 22 kids in like a class, and me and my brother are 2 of them. That was like when it was there wasn't a lot of classes that you could take with other grades. There was just like a couple, but I gotta talk to Jesse about that now because that is just so funny.
How many people were in your graduating class?
It's like 64.
Okay. This is just so that you guys get an idea of like how many's in the graduating class. It's not just like 10, just I want to make sure. It's a little bit more than 10. It's like, 64. So there's probably like 60 times. So there's about 250 kids to 300 in the high school.
You know everybody. I know every single person in the hallway that you pass, which is nice. You can greet everybody by name. And what was really nice with a small school too is, I'll say real quick, is from my experience in the 4 years, and I would say Jesse would even probably agree with this, and he was 2 grades younger, is that I felt like everyone was very accepted, had friends included. I never saw like any bullying or anything like that. It was everyone just like fit in. I don't know. Maybe someone would argue with that, but I think like I never saw anybody having a horrible experience.
No, everybody.
What do you think?
Just from everything, and I was in the school a lot, everybody just seemed to talk to everybody all the time. Everybody. Of course, you had your little, whatever arguments with their friends or whatever, but it was nothing where nobody was.
Everyone I felt like was real excited to see their group of friends. Everyone had a group of friends.
And everybody was just nice. Like I
got along with everybody. Like
they would pass out treats out of their locker if you're walking by, you hungry and stuff like that. They were just, I remember it was, if I went in there.
And I liked that. It was never like the movies. I never saw like that. Movies were something that was always interesting to me because I was like, and there was like a designated like nerdy group and Like it wasn't like, there wasn't that, you know what I mean? Like, or the girls walking down the halls. It wasn't a thing.
Because, even you, I wouldn't know. What do you fit in then? You're athletic, so you're fit in the athletic group. You're nerdy, so you fit in the nerdy group. You're popular, so you fit in the popular group. So no, everybody fit in multiple groups all the time.
That's nobody was nice.
It wasn't all just separate
You weren't
groups.
just one thing. You were multiple things. Band but also super smart, but then also maybe athletic,
Yeah, so you fit in multiple groups and multiple. So friends weren't just in one kind of friend. You had friends in every single class and every because my nephews they just started a new school this year and they're in 10th grade and they said that they didn't talk to anybody. They're boys. I didn't think they're shy, but the first 2 days I haven't talked to them since last week they started and. They said they didn't talk. One of them didn't talk to somebody for the whole 2 first days. That's sad. I'm like, kids better be talking to you guys. That's just crazy.
But
sad.
But the one really liked Ubley, so that's kind of sad that he He had his friends.
Yeah, they
and
just
everything.
switched to a new school this year. So hopefully that they like it, or if not, they can figure out a way for them to get rides and switch back to where they were happy. I don't know. I have to check back up on them. I haven't checked.
It takes time though, for sure, to, make new friends and stuff, but you definitely shouldn't go a whole day without someone talking to you. That's just not normal.
No, it's just
sad.
It is sad. Okay, so I was seeing something on social media the other day about it's actually on Twitter when I was looking through Twitter, and it's about this lady said that her 9-year-old daughter nearly drowned while she was watching her in full view of 2 lifeguards on an uncrowded and overcast day. And then she just was describing, and I found this really interesting. So then I kept looking things up, and she said, drowning doesn't look like drowning. And I hope, she wanted to know the people wrote a bunch about knowing the signs of it. And they, but then I'm interested in this because as Arrow's little now and, they're bigger, but where's the one thing I want to say? They said 10% of children drown while their parents are watching them. And what looks like jumping in the waves can quickly, here, I'm going to give you this page to read.
Yeah.
When I do, what looks like jumping in the waves is actually can quickly turn into bobbing or upright drowning. That's up the position they drowned in.
Okay,
and you
so
have to
I'll
be
read it.
really, really careful about this. Mom ran in fully clothed to save her daughter, and the mom is 5 foot, 120 pounds. Her daughter's 4'7", 100 pounds. She said she wasn't even thinking, and she almost drowned too. And it was that quick, and
So
it happens
they
fast.
both were saved?
She got her out, but she said it was that's why she. Yeah, there's some of the things.
Okay, so do you know the warning signs of drowning? Drowning people are physiologically unable to call out for help. So they can't be screaming, help me, except in rare instances. Breathing is the primary function of the respiratory system. Speech is secondary. So if you're unsure if someone is drowning, ask them. If they return a blank stare, you may have less than 30 seconds to get them.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said so many people drown in the upright bobbing position. It looks like they're actually treading.
Don't move
the waves.
Keep your microphone by your mouth.
I'm showing her how they tread up and down. But yeah, that's that they do in the upright
That's really
position.
sad. Okay, so if they return a blank stare, you may have less than 30 seconds. Okay, so number 2. Drowning people's mouths alternately, oh my gosh, I cannot read. Drowning people's mouths alternately sink below and reappear above the surface of the water. When the drowning people's mouths are above the surface, they exhale and inhale quickly as their mouths start to sink below the surface of the water. So I'm trying to think, they sink below and reappear. Oh, so they're bobbing. That's what you're saying. Drowning people cannot wave. Number 3, drowning people cannot wave for help or voluntarily control their arm movements to reach for a rescuer or a piece of rescue equipment. Nature instinctively forces them to extend their arms laterally and press down on the water's surface through the instinctive drowning response. Drowning people cannot voluntarily control their arm movements.
That's why they might look like your kid is still playing. That's what I was reading.
Mm-hmm.
Then after this, so many people wrote, and they say that the things that they've had happen, they've actually thought their kids are playing. And some of them aren't small kids. Some of the parents that wrote, their kids were 14, 12. It just happens really, really fast, and you really have to react fast. And it happens a lot with even lifeguards on duty.
Yeah, so then number 4 is, from beginning to end of the instinctive drowning response, people's bodies remain upright in the water with no evidence of a supporting kick. Unless rescued by a trained lifeguard, these drowning people can only struggle on the surface of water from between 20 to 60 seconds before submersion occurs.
Yeah.
So, wow. Yeah, that's really... So make sure your kid is not just playing, I guess.
Sometimes it looks like playing, yes.
Yeah.
And then that's what the mom just was, and then she's trying to get her attention, and then she just noticed something in her eyes and ran right out there. And she's, she says it was stupid now but of course a mother instinct's going to run right out there.
But there's lifeguards right there too. I hope that saw
and
it.
This is that's what they said. This is why multiple, a double drownings happen with parents and their children because nobody's thinking and they're just,
wanting to save.
And you need to holler that you're going in. You're, holler what you're doing so somebody's there to grab you too. You're supposed to have any kind of flotation. Mm-hmm. Say you go to the beach and stuff, you should always have some kind of, even if you don't have a I don't care if it's a noodle. You should have some kind of flotation device so that when you get out there, you have something that they can hang on to and you can
Was she able to swim, the daughter, did she think? Like normally?
She can, most of these people, the one person said that their kids took swimming lessons from the time they were 6 months to 12 years, and then they almost drowned.
Swimming is tiring. Okay, so let me correct myself. I said make sure your child is not just playing. No, make sure your child is just playing and not drowning, because you're just like
even an adult
survival mode.
That's why I was talking we talked a few weeks about Nicole and those waves when I hollered at her. This is why I'm hollering, because you don't know. And then she could be out laughing 1 second, then still waving her arms, and Victor thinks she's waving her arms at him and she's really drowning. Like it doesn't matter if you're a strong swimmer, you have to be careful. You should always.
I wouldn't call myself a strong swimmer though. Anyway,
I would just call you a medium swimmer, if that.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I like to touch the bottom. Like, I don't really like to just like swim.
So
freely.
It is really good to get your kids swimming lessons, but don't count on them swimming lessons to save their lives. You have to always keep your eyes on them. And
once you swallow water and can't touch the ground, I think it's real hard to like regroup.
Yes, and I watched my kids like a hawk, and they still had their little things where they got hurt. Now I feel like I'm double hawk grandma eyes all the time, and I guess that's when I read this kind of stuff, and that's why I'd like to share that with. And
Arrow still gets hurt once a day with my mom. Something very tiny, tiny, mom.
Yeah, like very tiny, and he wouldn't even.
Still.
But Nicole says the reason I make him cry is because I go, "What do I do?"
She goes,
like I panic because
she scares him. Like, oh, I'm really hurt.
Well, like, yes, it's so funny because it's like nothing. And I feel bad about the littlest things. Like 2 days ago, I'm talking and he stuck his finger in my mouth while I was talking and my teeth just hit his finger. And I was like, then I went, oh, like, and he started crying when I didn't even like
bite,
get him. You know what I mean?
Or yesterday, the dog, the lab licked his face and my mom went, oh, like, oh my gosh. And then
he get germs on him.
Then he started screaming, thinking, oh my gosh, that was what happened. So he's fallen like a lot worse with me. And I've just learned to be like, you're okay. You know, I feel like every mom learns that. I at first was all the like holding my breath, but now I'm like, if I know he's okay, I'm just like, yeah, you're good. Look at, and then he just smiles. So
and I've always done that with the kids, so I can't get over I just gasp like quickly and like want to just grab and save him right away. But I was like, yeah, it was just the dog licking his face.
Oh,
but I was
Mom
like,
does
he
that
licked
when
his
I'm
mouth.
driving, and I'm just like, and then my heart just drops to my like stomach, and it'll be something stupid she's reading on her phone, and I'm thinking that there's something really bad running out in front of me.
She's a crazy driver. If she sees a bird flying on the road, she swerves all over the road, and she does scare me because she thinks she's going to hit every single animal that they're not even on the road, and so she's going all over. I said, you need to just go straight. You need to drive. And
I used to slam on my brakes for animals.
Spilling coffee all over me when we're driving.
You're so dramatic. It's not even true.
Yes.
My mom is the third worst driver that I know. My grandma and my Aunt Tiff are number 1 and 2.
But I'm a safe driver. She just says that what do I do?
Swerve and stuff.
No, not swerve. You said I put my foot on the gas and off.
Oh, yeah, on and off. That's what I mean. But I
go slow, and she's like, you're going 40 miles an hour. And
I go, you're going what you want your age to be.
That's what she said to me yesterday, and I looked down. I go, "Oh, I am only going 40."
She's going 49. She's going 49 miles an hour. I'm like, what the hell?
I don't know. I like to make sure that everybody's like I don't know. No, I drive slow sometimes.
My mom is the person that drives in the fast lane and doesn't realize that she's in the fast lane. And then the people have to go around her.
No, I don't do that anymore, but I used to until they told me. You guys told me now, yes.
Do you know how the fast lane works?
But back in the day, I only drove in 2-lane things. I didn't know you had to be going a certain speed until Nicole and Dave told me. Now I don't go in that lane.
My dad is the best driver that I know, best driver ever, and my mom is the driver that he's yelling at on the road.
I know when he yells at the people on the road, I say, Dave, that's me. You stop that. Because because he'll be complaining. I said, you don't know if that's like a student driver. You don't know if that's an old lady that don't know how to drive. You don't know if it's somebody like me who just is extra cautious. I said, and he's like, well, yeah, but extra cautious is going to get you in an accident.
So when I say my Aunt Tiffany, my grandma, my mom are bad drivers, it's not because they get in accidents. It's because they do this like little swerve motion, like this little like.
I don't do that. You said grandma does that.
Yeah, and Aunt Becky just said how bad it was the other day again. So it makes you car sick. That's all. It's not that they get in accidents. So I'm sure there's a lot worse drivers out there. But anyways, do you have anything else to wrap up?
No, I think we covered. I have some more subjects, but I guess we'll wait till next time because we really.
Yeah, it's 46 minutes. See, when you slow down, you get more talking, more content. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.